The barbell, by comparison to any previously existing tool, is almost a miracle.
Yeah, Mike Tyson fighting Jake Paul?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's real, dude.
I want him to murder him. And that's so unkind.
There's a good chance he will.
Right? Like, he went friggin' toe-to-toe with Roy Jones Jr. recently. Which, again, Roy Jones is over the hill as well. But that's not who you want to fight, you know?
No. Yeah, I mean, most of the people that I've seen talk about it are like bummed about it.
For who?
For Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
Because they're like, it's clearly a money play. Like, he needs the money, probably. Because he's going to make a ridiculous amount.
Oh, if I'm Mike Tyson, I want $10 million.
Yeah, I mean,
like
it's going to be ridiculous. But, like, regardless if he wins or loses. So, like,
yeah,
I don't know. But everybody's been like, you know, just one of those things where it's like, yeah, I mean, it's kind of the trendy thing to do right now. But it's like, he has, like, this huge legacy.
Yeah.
And it's like, if Jake Paul beats you.
Maybe.
You know?
Maybe.
It's like, people are like, it's kind of weird, you know?
Yeah.
But I think everybody who like really matters would probably say, like, you know, he's 100 years old or whatever. But
I've been wrong in my last couple predictions, but I just can't see it not going Tyson by knockout.
yeah,
He's just still way too powerful. Head movement is crazy still.
yeah. See, I just don't know how much. I don't know how much anything's real.
Yeah.
You know, it's like it might be like if nobody wins.
That's the quote of the century. Just about
Yeah.
anything, by the way.
Yeah, I don't know.
Media, politics.
Everything.
I just don't know what's real.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, everything. So it's like,
Oh, dude. I don't even know if we should record. I have a lot to talk to you, and I don't know if any of it needs to go on the...
I've been recording.
Okay, good.
Yeah, because I didn't want to miss that.
Yeah, there's more of that, too. I've
What?
Well, before I get to the other thing, did you see Francis get starched?
No, I didn't. No,
He got put down hard.
He fought what's his
Anthony
face?
Joshua.
Yeah.
Who's the real deal. Like,
He's so jacked.
Yeah.
He has an insane body.
yeah.
He's so
crazy.
jacked.
I don't know that this trend that we're seeing is helpful to anybody. Imagine a world where your first two fights are the greatest heavyweight, maybe of all time, but of our lifetime. And then the second one is like number 2 of right now. Like, these guys infamously get nobodies for the first 10 fights as they're bringing them up. Mm-hmm. That's one thing I think it's a long game. But that's one thing I think boxing gets done well. They do well is they don't kill a young fighter's momentum or confidence by getting starched in front of millions.
Right.
And then we have Ngannou, who's just like, we'll throw him to the wolves. He's a freebie.
Yeah.
I think, I'm no boxing expert. I think what we saw was an out-of-shape Tyson Fury who didn't realize Ngannou was as talented as he was. And so the fight was closer. One of those judges scored in favor of Ngannou. It wasn't unanimous for the first fight. Like, that's huge.
Yeah.
The other thing I want to talk to you about.
Oh, no.
We have to cut it out. I don't know.
Okay. All right.
It caught me off guard.
All right. Hold on one second.
I record. You can't expect me to know.
No, I know. I didn't even tell you. It was my fault. So, my sister.
Are we recording?
Yeah.
Deal.
My sister got me a few different things. But one of the things she got me was, so she has one of those, you know, like the Stanley that all the girls have.
Oh, nice.
So she has one of those.
Mm-hmm.
And she got me one.
That's sick.
And I was like, she was worried that I wouldn't like it because she was like, I know it's like a girl, like it's like a thing right now. It's like a trend run. I was like, it's sick.
Yeah.
It's a nice cup.
Yeah.
It's all black.
Yeah. Standard.
And I was like, sweet.
Like your soul.
Yeah, exactly.
Like your tortured soul.
Exactly like my tortured soul. My tortured dark soul. And
man, you're so
it was pretty sick. I'll say this, the thing that it has going for it, you would love it because the handle is amazing.
You can fit on it?
Oh yeah, dude, like your giant meat hooks would fit in there.
Yeah.
It's a nice handle. It's a nice cup. And then the thing I like weirdly that I was like super pumped about was she got me, not weirdly, you're going to think it's amazing, but she got me a couple of gift cards, like QT gift cards.
I'm with that.
I was pumped, man.
If I only got gift cards for the rest of my life, I'd be hype.
I was pumped. Like, that's so amazing. Like, I stop at gas stations so much.
Were you
It's
behind
like
me
Casey's
in the
or QT.
highway this morning?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw you.
Yeah.
I thought it was you. I wasn't sure.
I knew it was you, and I was like, oh, no, we're both late.
Yeah.
And then I saw you take the exit for the gas.
Yeah, I needed gas. I was like,
Me too.
Yeah.
I had to stop before we went. That's why I texted you, because I got in the car. It's 5 miles to empty.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm not going to risk that for this 40
You
mile
made it,
trip.
though?
No, I got gas.
Oh, did you really? Okay.
Not there. I stopped in MOB. You heard me?
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I was pushing it because my gas light was on.
Yeah.
And
How mad are you with yourself when you get in the truck in the morning?
it's so dumb.
Every time. Because you're going home, you're like, that's tomorrow's problem.
Yeah, dude. It's so weird because I'm like, don't want to stop right now. And then, the thing of it is that with that truck, it's like 10 to 12 miles a gallon. So it's like, I'm really kicking it close when it's like that because I never know.
Oh, yeah.
I take a hill too fast and I get 7.
Ugh.
You know what I mean? And then it's like, okay, well, might not make it.
You gotta love that.
Might not make it. I need to put that pen back in my fanny pack
Yeah, you do.
because I have a pen and a marker in my fanny pack.
I like that. Stay strapped, baby.
And I needed it twice and I didn't have it in there because I had to give it to Amy for the game.
We should make her own little arts and crafts section.
Yeah.
That'd be sweet.
What do you mean? Like,
Just a little spot where she can sit and color when she's waiting. I think she'd appreciate that.
I think she would too. She really likes that. She usually draws and
Yeah, we should get her some slippers to put
Yeah.
on. I
last.
feel like if she could have some slippies, she'd be comfy.
So this is pretty funny. My mom last night goes. She goes, I started listening to your podcast,
Oh,
and I was like, did you really? And she was like, yeah. And my sisters both started laughing, and
oh no.
and she was like, well, so I kind of told her, I was like, really? I was like, did you laugh? Did you laugh? Like, did you like it? And she's like, I thought you guys did great. Like, you guys seemed like, so professional.
Oh,
And I was like, really? And she was just talking it up. And so that kind of led in. And like, so both Nikki and Jessica both have been like listening to it like every week.
oh, nice.
And Nikki said that the one where I ran into that random dude in the park,
Yeah,
she said she was dying laughing. Like, she was like, that was hilarious.
Nice.
And she was like, that whole episode was really good. And so anyway, back to my mom. I kept talking to my mom about it. And I was like, I was like, I don't know. She was like, yeah. And then like, she was like, the video quality was really good. And I was like, there's no video. Like, and so I was like, there's no video yet. And I was like, show me what you, and she had watched the like that mini micro, like docu video, document video. And that's on there. And I was like, that's not the podcast. And she was like, really? Because what she had done was she had just typed in like Iron Fortress Gym in Google.
Oh, right.
And then like that video, I guess, is on there. So then like she just watched that video that was like on there, and she was like, it was really good. And I was like, you didn't see that like I had short hair, that it was like 17 years ago?
That's so funny.
So then I showed her where the podcast was and stuff. And I was like, Jessica or somebody else had said, like, somebody said something like, you probably shouldn't listen to it, mom,
Yeah.
And then my mom gets immediately like, are you saying bad things on there? And I was like, I was like, I'll put it this way. I was like, I'm okay with you listening to it. Like, I don't feel like I've said anything to be like ashamed of. I wouldn't mind you listening to it. Well, but I was like, but it's, you know, there's locker room humor. Like, it's two dudes like joking around. It's a little bit of locker room. You know, it's like we try to keep it reeled in a little bit. Yeah, we try to keep it reeled in a little. And I was like, I don't mind. I was like, it's just, you know, my mom, I started like impersonating her in front of her, you know. I was like, right. You may be like, like, that's not good. Like, she does that, you know. And like, I was like, you might be like, like, you know, a little whatever. I was like, but there's some things I think she'll laugh at. But I told her, I was like, you listen to it. There's some like entertaining stuff. I was like, but for my mom, most of it's just going to go over her head, you know?
Yeah.
Because like, even if we're watching something and something is a certain comedic level,
yeah,
she'll kind of smile and laugh because we're laughing,
right?
But she doesn't get it,
yeah,
you know. So it's kind of funny. We'll see.
She's also probably not our target demo.
Yeah. I mean, and that's my thing. It's like, it's not gonna. Yeah,
I think she'll understand all the Hispanic jabs I take at you, which I'm not pumped at.
Oh, she'll probably think it's funny.
Really?
Yeah, she doesn't mind that. Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
No, she's not one of these.
Like when I impersonated you last week on Guys from the Gym.
Oh, she'll think it's funny. Yeah, because I do that to her.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
good.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, because I'll make me and my dad both will make jokes to her. Like,
does he make jokes at you?
No.
See, that would be better.
No.
He'd make half the
jokes. He'll just make jokes at her, you know. And it's always just, it's hilarious. But
yeah.
Yeah, she's not gonna mind them. No, not really. Like a little, like she started to later on.
For being a mammoth?
Yeah, she started to later on, and she would just like take little jabs or whatever, and sometimes they're funny, you know. Yeah. But like, you know, because you just start to catch on to that kind of stuff when you're like, she's not like quick-witted like that, you know.
Right.
And so she's just funny in a different way,
right?
You know?
But those are sometimes the funniest jokes.
Oh, it's hilarious. Yeah, sometimes, I mean,
when it doesn't come from the funny person.
Yeah.
It just comes from somebody who legitimately had a funny
it's hilarious. It's hilarious. Yeah. Because part of it is, it's like not getting it or whatever, and part of it is like saying something and she doesn't know what it means.
Bring me out. What's that song?
It's Evanescence. Wake me up inside.
Why do you call yourself Evanescence? I've never understood that.
It's not. It is Evanescence. That's the band.
I know, but why did you call yourself that?
We didn't.
Oh, someone else did. And you just adopted it?
No. Where that all started from was that people would be like, "You guys are like Evanescence," because we had like a female lead singer in the band.
Hold on. So they didn't know it was you, and they just thought it was you.
You're really confusing me right now.
So here's where I'm getting confused.
Okay.
When the people said that you sounded like Evanescence, did they or did they not know that was you?
I don't think so. I don't think
they didn't know that was you.
No, I don't think so.
Wow, how'd you keep it under wraps like that?
I don't know, because we were pretty huge.
Yeah. You're on tour.
Yeah.
And then you have a separate band who's like trying to make it with the same people.
Kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was that comedian's name that went crazy? Oh, man, what was this? Andy Kaufman? It's kind of an Andy Kaufman sort of move.
Really?
You know what I mean? Did you ever see anything on him?
Mm-mm. I thought it was Andy Dick.
Oh, he's also crazy.
Okay.
Andy Kaufman is older than that.
Okay.
You should watch, there's a movie, what was it? It was called like Man in the Moon. Jim Carrey played Andy Kaufman. And he was like this most...
Oh, I know what yeah, now that you say that, I remember they did a movie. Okay. Yeah.
And he...
I didn't ever watch anything from him.
It was the most like existential...
He just broke? He just snapped?
No, it was just like the stuff that he found funny. Like in the movie, like I don't know if this was a real trope that he had, but in the movie, he was just like, he got a job as a waiter and just pretended that he wasn't him and just worked the job. Just thought that was hilarious. Which like is funny, but it's like
for a day, for like a video, you know?
Right.
But I mean, to like, he was just,
you know what?
How long did he work there for? 6 years?
I don't know. He worked there for a while. Like, because he didn't tell anybody. So it took a while for people that knew him to like come to the restaurant, you know?
Right.
But it was funny because I may be totally off, but my like thesis statement on it was, it was like he was being funny, like there was a camera following him the whole time where there wasn't. You know
That's
what I mean?
funny.
Like nobody sees you doing this. But
So he could have really, honestly, he was just ahead of his era.
probably like a
if-
genius.
Like if he could have just done that and then like had YouTube, like a YouTube vlog or
Dude,
whatever.
Tons of dudes like that. I guarantee it.
That's kind of crazy.
Tons of dudes. Like I remember a story. I was listening to Dave Chappelle's manager, and he was like, I took him to see this comedian, this other guy that I represented. We went to the park to watch him, and he just went for like 4 hours, just off the cuff, just like killing the crowd. And Dave was the only time he ever got mad at me. He was like, why did you ever take me to see that guy? He's like, I'll never be as funny as that guy. And it was funny because in the next day, that guy who was in the park, who was homeless, he was like a crack addict, but somehow was managed by this guy. He like came to his office, and that guy was sleeping in his office, and he was like, got a check or whatever, and he had invited him to Dave's show that night. And then that guy was like, why did you ever take me to that guy's show? I'll never be as like that. They had the same.
Wow.
But what's funny is I don't even remember the guy's name, but I know Dave Chappelle.
Right.
But if it comes up 15 years later, where there's social media,
Yeah.
you know that dude's name.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's pretty
That's
nuts.
wild.
Some dudes have that spark, but also just because you have that spark doesn't mean you understand how to work the social media angle.
Right.
I heard, I think his name's Country Wayne. You've heard of Country Wayne? He was like, not Vine, but he was social media, like TikTok, just exploded over the pandemic. Anyway, sorry, I've lost my train of thought. But he, I was listening to him talk recently, and he does these like skits on his YouTube and TikTok now. He'll do like 8 skits a week, or I'm sorry, 8 skits a month.
Yeah.
And they were asking about how much he pays his people, and they'll shoot with him for like 8 skits a week, or 8 skits a month, so like 2 days a month they'll work, and some of them are making 10-20 grand
Wow.
because of how much money he's got coming in.
Right.
He's crushing it.
That's insane.
It's nuts that dudes just figure out how to
Do it.
Yeah,
You know.
I mean, part of how to do it, I think, is just doing it
Right.
and then improving.
Yeah.
But those numbers you can't fox with.
No.
And it's wild. Like, I wonder how badly it's like killing Hollywood, because I've just heard so many stories of like Theo went out for this pilot and then he crushed it, and we offered him the part, and he's like, yeah, I make like what you're paying me, I make per episode on my podcast, and like I tour, and I can't really.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, that checks out.
Crazy.
And I kind of wonder about that, if it's like just not too much greed at the top, like the
Sure.
big dogs are taking too much of the pie.
Yeah.
But it's, I don't know, it's better this way probably.
Yeah. Yeah. They can do their own thing now. You know.
I think movie stars now, and those comedic movie stars now, are like just people who just, that's just what they want to do.
Yeah.
You know, it's not
I think so too.
not for money anymore.
I heard this crazy story. I don't know where it was at, but Andrew Santino was talking about it, and he was saying he went and played some show somewhere, and he was on stage, and like I guess they didn't tell him about it, or he didn't know, or whatever. But he was on stage, and like he kept hearing this like bloop bloop noise, you know, like something was dripping. And he was like, what is, and like he stopped in the middle of the show, he said, and he was like, what is that? And just like the ceiling was leaking, and just like they had a bucket on stage, and so like the ceiling was leaking and the water was dropping in the bucket.
Nice.
And the crazy part was that after he got off, he was like, dude, the ceiling was like leaking up there, you know? And somebody was like, yeah, dude, he's like, I was worried that it was, like there was like a dead body upstairs. And he was like, laughed, and he was like, what? Like, because the person didn't laugh really, they're being serious. So I guess like back in the day, like 15-20 years ago or something, there was like a halfway house like above the comedies, the you know,
The club.
the club, yeah. And I guess somebody died in their room,
Oh,
and nobody knew about it.
right.
So the body was laying in there for like a week. and the body was leaking
Right.
and leaked through the ceiling.
Cool.
And so like people were on stage and like something was dripping on the stage and like it was smelled really bad. And then they were like, this is like, I think like the septic broke or something, like this smells terrible. And so then they checked and that guy's body was like upstairs decomposing and it like leaked through the
I
floor.
wonder what that technically is.
Yeah, I mean, it's just juices, you know?
Yeah. Is dead body juice?
Yeah, dead body juices.
Ugh.
Kind of crazy.
Kind of real crazy.
Yeah, and I was like, wow. But that's like a weird thing I keep hearing is that like like a lot of the comedy clubs are in these weird spots.
Oh, yeah.
And like it's like apartments above or like there's weird like they're part of something else, you know? It's like they'll be like, "Oh yeah, have you played that one club?" And they're like, "Yeah." They're like, "I love that place." And it's like connected to a casino.
That one doesn't surprise me as much.
Yeah, it just seems like they're in odd spots in some of these places, like in New York especially.
Oh, yeah.
They're like in weird spots where they're like, "Oh yeah, there's that great like pizza place above the or below it," you know, and it's like, "What?"
That's the only thing I think is like cool about New York.
Yeah.
I could never live there, but just so much life packed into a short
Yeah.
little spot. Like there was this woodworker that I watch that used to have a shop in New York City. He used to have his workshop in New York City. And we're talking like 7-foot ceilings, like cramped, right?
Right.
But have you ever seen those? I don't even know what they're called. I'd call them like cellar doors, but they're like on the ground and they flip up and you walk downstairs.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
That's how you accessed it from the outside.
Really?
It was just under a building. It was pretty sick.
That's kind of crazy.
It was cool. It felt like Ninja Turtle vibes.
Yeah, I like stuff like that.
It was pretty sick.
I like stuff like that when like somebody's got like they've got like a big island in their kitchen and then you can
Right.
like flip open a door and then it's
Right.
like a slide, like a tube slide.
Oh, I love that.
That goes to the down like the basement or whatever.
Yeah. He's got speaking of money, that dude got wealthy. Like he bought this.
Wait, who was this again? You said it was.
His name is Jimmy DeRista, but he's a woodworker. I'll show you some of his stuff. It's pretty good.
He's built it.
What?
He's built it. This stuff like or
Yeah, so he's like what you'd call a maker. So like he taught himself to weld and stuff, and he makes everything.
wow.
He's friends with Nick Offerman. He built a what's that called, a canoe for him. Like he's pretty well connected. He's been on TV a few times on some of these shows, but
Wow.
he's definitely in that category where he's just making so much off his social media,
Right.
and like he'll sell a small product and just sell out. You know what I mean? Like his
Right.
merch is on point.
Yeah.
But he built this like dream shop on like this old farmhouse that he owns in upstate New York. But then he just bought a new property in New York. And it's probably like not the place people want to live or something, but there's like a cemetery connected to it, which is kind of sick. But it's just this old farmhouse that he's just like gutting. And I've been watching that recently. And I'm like, man, this guy's living the dream.
That's crazy.
I'd love to do that.
I'd love to be able to do that.
I'd put my boots on and my jeans on, my button up, and I'd walk outside to watch other men work on my
With some-
property.
With
And I
some
would just,
coffee.
yeah, and I would just, be the manager.
It's grout day, right? Grouting day.
Yeah, I'd point at the buck in the background and be like, yeah, so I've been watching the technique, and I just make big hand motions and just like,
Yeah.
I see that you guys are doing good.
Some of that stuff is just I can sit there and watch it for forever.
Yes.
Like, have you seen?
And he has good videos like that where they're like that.
That's
Where
sweet.
you don't get bored with them.
Like I don't know if you've seen this, but they had like a thing where they were showing like back in the 50s, like guys doing drywall. Have you seen that video?
Yeah.
It's insane.
And they use like an axe or something.
Yeah, he's got like an axe with a hammer on the back.
Right.
And then like he would have the nails in his mouth or something.
Right.
And
They're
like
true craftsmen.
craftsmen, man. It's,
it's sick.
insane. And then like they've got like an archway.
Mm-hmm. I've seen the exact same video you're talking about.
And like he like cuts it and then like pulls the nail and he's like it's
I watched
art
one-
almost.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's excellence.
insane. Yeah, it's crazy.
I watched one yesterday. It was a little older, but the guy was driving nails with his by hand with a hammer. He was building he was like putting the boards in for the roof, like the trusses. I couldn't think of the word. And I promise you, dude, he like tapped them to get in place and like 2 hits had every one of these six, like I think they're what they call the 16 penny nails. I don't know, I may have it wrong, but like the big nails.
Yeah, the big ones. Yeah.
Never missed. In every time, like faster than I could have done it with an air nailer. And I'm just like, you're a freak.
It's insane.
I wish I had any skills.
Yeah, dude, me too. I was watching one too of guys that were like driving those like big stakes at like a construction site.
There's 4 of them.
Did you see that too?
Dude,
we have the same feed.
I've seen the whole internet.
Yeah, we probably have the same feed.
I wonder where it forks for us.
Yeah,
like where you have more of this and I have more of that.
Do you have like a lot of I have like a lot of like dumb or like silly like animal stuff. You have that too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Cooking videos? I knew that's where we'd depart.
Yeah, not as many.
I have a ton of cooking videos.
I have some.
Some of my favorites right now is a dude with like a really nice knife.
Yeah.
And like a cutting board.
Is he outside or
and
is he
he's
inside?
just right next to a stream or like a
yeah,
mountain
see,
or
I
something.
get those too. Those are the ones I like.
Those are sick.
Yeah. Those are the ones I like. I like that. There's a couple of them where they have like a sweet dog and the dog's sitting out there with them.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's awesome.
And they'll put a rock in the fire to get it hot and then use that as a cooking surface.
Yeah. So, I think we've only watched the first episode, but it'll take us 19 years because like I don't get to watch any like thing really. I feel like, but we started watching have you seen the show Alone?
Mm-mm.
So it's like Naked and Afraid, but like legit, like hardcore. So they take guys that are survivalists, and they don't tell them where they're going.
Wow.
They just tell them like these are your predators or whatever, and this is going to be kind of the terrain. And then they get to pick 10 items, and then they just drop them off.
Like 10 items. Okay.
You get to take 10 items with you.
But like anything, or you can take 10 of these 100.
Yeah, it's 10 of like whatever they offer you.
Or whatever they offer.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so then they all get to pick it, and then just drop them off.
10 items.
And it's pretty wild. Like,
it's called Alone. What channels is this on? Tubi?
No, it's weird. There's like different seasons on different.
No.
So the first episode, they just drop these guys off, and it's pretty like, so I mean it's pretty legit. So like the pot, if you win,
there's money,
is $500,000.
Okay. How many dudes are in the competition, and do you win by staying the longest?
Yep.
So there's not like competitions within this.
It's just who can last the longest.
Who win? You just saw the first episode.
I've just seen the first episode. It's $500,000. When they start the first show, there's only 10 guys left. So I don't know why they did that, or it just said 10 people remain.
Whoa.
And so I don't know what that means, but
maybe it started with 10, and that's just how they're setting
how they're doing it. Yeah, I don't know.
Each week it's like 9 remain, 8 remain.
Yeah. Well, so far. You know what? I think we started the second episode, but we didn't finish it. But yeah, but there's so first episode, this guy that's like a cop, he gets dropped off and he sets up camp, and it's like anything else. It's like, okay, shelter, food, water, right?
Right.
So he gets everything set up and he starts like scouting the area. Starts finding bear tracks.
Ooh.
Immediately. Within like 2 hours of being there, he starts finding bear tracks. Then he finds like a bunch of bear poop.
Can you tell black bear or grizzly bear by that?
Yes, they could.
Size?
They could, yeah.
Is that what they go by? I mean, they've got the same feet, right? So it's just size?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
I'm guessing a grizzly bear has a nastier dump.
Yeah. Well, so then he keeps going.
Gosh, dog.
He keeps going, okay? Then he starts finding like a bunch of dead fish, like just that have been eaten, half eaten.
Grizzly bear.
And there's a bunch of fish.
Grizzly bear.
It's black bear.
Really?
Yeah. And he keeps going, and then he finds like more dead fish or whatever. And then he runs into like the actual den, and he's like,
oh, cool.
he's like within walking distance from the den. So he's standing there. He's like, oh wow, I found the den. And he's like, okay. He's like, I am in like a bad spot right now. The other thing that's crazy is like they record themselves. So they gave them a camera. And there's nobody there. They're just vlog style, like they'll like set up the camera and then record themselves. And you can tell because it's like kind of cruddy most of the time.
Yeah.
Because like, I mean, I think they gave them like tips and maybe trained them some on like, we need some shots of like you walking and this and that or the other, but it's just them with the camera. And
do you know where they're at this point?
Yeah, I cannot remember. I thought so. They're somewhere like
Uzbekistan.
No, it was like somewhere like in Canada, but it was like deep in the woods, and it's crazy because they're pretty close to each other. Like they show where everybody's at on the map, but it's crazy because everybody's landlocked. Like they're on their own little island.
No way.
Or they're separated by mountains. So like they're pretty close to each other. Like it's close enough where I felt like, oh, they may run into each other, but then they did. I told Lacey, I was like, well, they can run into each other there, but then they said they can't. There's either separated by mountains or like it's too much water because they're on an island.
I wonder if they gave them directions to like.
They might have, yeah. But they like so. Then this guy, he's like, he sees the den. And he's like, oh crap. So then as he's like leaving the den, he hears like branches crackling.
Yeah, he does. Because this is a horror movie you're describing.
and then he stops and he's like, oh my gosh. And there's 2 black bears in the tree above him. Whoa. They were there the whole time.
Whoa.
And he's like, holy crap. And so then he gets out of there. He's like freaking out for the rest of the day, but he's like trying to like figure out, it's so wet, like because it's been raining so much that like nobody can start a fire. None of them. Ugh. Like they're all having trouble starting fires, and they're all doing all these crazy techniques to like try to get a fire going, and they're like finding different stuff, and they're like, this will work sometimes, you know, because they all seem kind of trained, you know. Some of them seem a little less equipped than others, but like, yeah. So he's trying to get a fire going, so he's just worried about other things. And so then that night, he's in his tent thing that he built, because they don't have tents, they just have tarps. So like most of them are making
their items.
Right. He chose to take a tarp and rope.
Could they take a piece?
No.
Got that steel on them?
No. They have, some of them have axes, some of them have bows.
You have a bow?
Yeah. Yep. But like, so some of them have some things, but they don't have guns.
That seems.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. So
how many items would you give up to have a gun?
5.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah, I'd give up half.
Give me 5 things just to let me have.
Yeah. And there, multiple of them were saying that. One guy was like, I have a farm. He was like in like the swamps of Florida. He's like, so like the cold weather's really weird for me because they're like in a place that's like kind of cold and wet. And he's like, so this is weird. He's like, but on top of that, he's like, I don't go anywhere without a gun.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm always packing.
Right.
You know, because like you never know what you're going to need. And he's like, so I feel so weird not having that. And he's like, so like I feel kind of defenseless, you know?
Because you are.
Yeah. Because there's wolves, mountain lions, bears.
Well, an axe or a bow are pretty defenseless against a bear.
Yeah.
A gun.
Yeah.
Like the wrong kind. We've talked about that. A 9mm would be nice to have on your hip, but like that's not your first choice against a bear.
No.
Maybe against a black bear. I don't know.
Maybe. Yeah, they're smaller. They're smaller. But like, so he's in this little tent because it's like day 1, right? So
this is the cop.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And he's
where was he from?
I think it was Texas maybe, or it was somewhere like that. And so everybody's just like getting a feel for the place, like taking their time. They're like, it's day 1, so nobody's putting up any nice shelter. You know, they're just like trying to get somewhere so they can have some place to sleep before dark hits. So he's in this little cruddy, like he barely fits in it, you know, because he just like threw the tarp over the rope, you know. And it's nighttime. He's got his camera going. And then there's 2, maybe 3 black bears. And he hears them, like he hears the branches crackling, right? And he's in his tent, it's pitch dark, totally black.
Right.
and like he hears them crackling around, and they have like they have them set up game cameras around their tent.
Oh, that's a great idea.
And then they have a camera inside their tent for them, vlogging or whatever. So he like kicks it on, and he's like, kind of, I don't know if he slept at all, but he was like, seemed like he was already awake.
Right.
But he's got like his axe, his little hatchet, like in his hand, and he hears them, and they're like just curious, they're just like,
yeah,
kind of just checking out the tent. And he's like, oh my, he's like freaking out. And he's like, hey bear, because you're supposed to like, and they take off, like they take off running. And he's like, oh my gosh. And I was like, dude, move your campsite. Like, before it was dark, I would have been like, I'm too close to that den.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to try to hike like 5 miles the opposite direction or something. Like, but he didn't. So, yeah. And so then he's like trying to calm down, and he's like laying in his thing. They come back again.
Sure they do.
The same night. And he's like, hey bear, and like tries to scare him off. They run off, but they don't come back again that night. He's like, I'm out. He left? He left. He was the first one to leave, and he was like so like bummed and down on himself. But he's like, I had bears like all over my tent like day one.
Yeah.
He's like, I can't, and like so he quit. And I was like, yeah, I was like, nothing happened though.
Yeah, it was also before you built a fire.
Yeah, and he didn't have fire or anything. Like, and I was
fire
like,
deter a
yeah,
lot,
I think so. But I was like, man,
it'll just at least make you feel more secure in it.
I was like, man, dude, like, give it
$500K, bro.
$500K.
And like, if you don't win, you got to go camping for like, I mean,
come on,
that's pretty. You know what I'm doing? If I'm on that show and I'm out like midway through, I make a TikTok channel and try to be like, yo, I'm from that show.
Yeah, you're trying to do the riffraff thing.
Yeah, well, no, I'm just like going camping every weekend, like the dude does from Alaska we were talking about.
Uh-huh.
Trying to get like something off that.
Yeah, and like it was wild. I was like, that sucks. I mean, that's a horrible first day, and like nobody else encountered that. Like, I mean, you'd be upset or whatever, but you'd be scared or whatever. But I told Lacey, I was like, what do you think's gonna happen? Like, I'm also, if I was them, I would be going in being like, I'm going to have to fight for my life.
I think the hard part about this is, so day one you get there, it's a partial day.
Right.
You'd have to be busy the whole time. I don't know that I would have done what that guy did and just like go to explore.
Yeah.
Maybe that makes the most sense, but I think I just realize day two is going to be rough.
Yeah.
Because you can't build a shelter and find food.
Right.
And you got to pick one.
Yeah.
And I think I'm building shelter first.
Yeah, me too.
Because I'm pretty sure I can last a week without food.
Yeah.
Plus.
Right.
So shelter / water.
Yeah.
You just got to find some sort of stream.
Yeah. Yeah, and the thing, they're all next to water.
Yeah, that's nuts.
But part of it was that they were like, everybody was like, water, I'm thirsty.
Yeah. Because
they don't give them, I don't think they give them any. So, like, nobody could start fire there to boil the water. Mm. And so, maybe one guy had like a stream or like a waterfall thing next to him. And I was like, there you go. Like,
yeah, I'm not boiling that.
No, I don't think I would either. But I also, I don't know. But it was pretty wild. The next night, so a guy ran into wolves that same episode.
I'd be more worried about wolves than
Me too.
bear.
That's exactly what I said. And like, he ran into wolves, and they were super close. Like, you can hear them like fighting.
I wonder
and,
how
like,
they get an
and
insurance
stuff.
policy for this show.
I don't know. That guy seemed hardcore. I was like, dude, that guy's like legit. He seems dope. And he ran into the wolves or whatever, and I think he may have even seen some of their eyes, like in the dark, mm-hmm. like with his like the camera, night vision or whatever. Mm-hmm. And it just freaked him out. Like, yeah. And so he left the next day. And so I think he left day 2 or whatever. But I was like, it's intense. Yeah, I mean, and they have a satellite phone, and they can call and say like, come get me, and then like the show will come get them on a boat.
Talk me through the items. What items do they have?
So I haven't seen all the items yet, but they get to wear like whatever clothes, so they can do that. But it seems
Those
like
count as items?
I don't think so.
I got so anxious there.
No, I don't think
It's like you're charging me for socks?
No, they don't. I don't think the clothes. I don't think the clothes count for anything. I think they can wear whatever. But yeah, so far what I've seen is everybody's got a knife. Mm-hmm. Some people have hatchets. Some people don't. Which I thought was dumb. Like, I think one guy said he didn't have a hatchet, and I was like, why didn't you take a hatchet?
You gotta have a hatchet.
Yeah, I know. But like,
you're not gonna build any kind of structure without a hatchet.
No. So he had. So far, it seemed like everybody had tarps.
That's probably my first pick.
And paracord.
Second pick.
Or some kind of rope.
Yeah.
And then everybody had a knife. It seemed like everybody had the flint stick.
Yeah.
Everybody had the flint stick, and then
what is that? There's a name for that.
I can't remember what it's called, but it's like that little thing.
Yeah. That actually might be the first pick. And
so I saw somebody had a bow, but that's all I had seen so far, because like everything else was just like them freaking out in the terrain and stuff. But those are the only items I've seen so far, I think.
So let's run through our list of 10.
Okay.
Are we going with those things first?
Definitely.
Was that 5?
Yeah, so tarp,
paracord,
hatchet, knife, like fire, flint, something for fire.
I wish I could remember what it's called. I don't know if I'm going with a bow. I might. Yeah, if that's your only thing.
I don't know how I'd find food without that. You know what I mean? If I don't have a gun or a bow, I don't. Yeah,
that's the only.
Yeah.
If there's a stream, I've seen people do some pretty tricky stuff with a stream.
Yeah.
Like build a rock wall.
Yeah.
And they get trapped in there, basically.
Right.
You know what might be sick, too? Maybe this is a bad idea.
What?
Almost be sick to try to kill some animals that you're not going to eat, just to cache them for the other animals.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
To keep them away. Yeah.
I don't know how long that would work. You know what I mean?
Maybe you could just use like certain parts. You know, like throw the head somewhere.
Oh, that's true too.
You know?
Yeah.
I feel like you got to have something like a pot or something.
That's exactly what I was saying.
Something you can put like a pan or a pot, something you can
iron.
like cook water in and then cook food in.
Yeah, that's for sure. So that's what are we at, like 7?
Mm-hmm.
So 3 more and can't have a gun?
Nope.
Golly. Honorable mention that probably doesn't make the last 3. I might go some like machete type thing.
Yeah, something that's got.
I think something with some hacking power.
Mm-hmm.
That way you can keep your knife for what it's for, keep your hatchet for what it's for.
Right.
I don't know if that makes the last 3, but I'm having trouble because I just...
Yeah, you need some sort of a... Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure there's something that's like standard that I'm not thinking of.
Me too. Oh, my CPAP. I'm going to bring that.
Yeah, they count your
pillow.
They count your glasses.
Oh man, I'd be pissed.
As one.
Take them.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Oh wait, how cold? Oh, it's in Canada.
I think that's what they said was somewhere in Canada. So there. I mean, it's gonna get cold at some point. It's gonna get real cold.
You know what might be sick?
What?
A shovel.
Oh yeah. A
shovel could be sick because you could find an area where you could dig out a little bit for part of your shelter.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, because then you could dig somewhere. You could take some time each day, dig something real deep.
Yeah.
So that way, if it's cold, you could store stuff down there.
Right. That'd be, or if it's hot.
Yeah. You just get it down there and get
like a root cellar sort of
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus, some of those like short-handled shovels, you can like change the orientation of the head, you know what I mean?
Right.
And some of them have that like serrated edge on it.
Right.
It'd be kind of like a multi-tool.
You think you would need something like this is dumb, but you think you would need, I don't even know if you'd want to waste an item on this, but you think you'd need something that could sift out, like, so let's say for instance they get a ton of snow and then they're just going to like melt down snow for water, which is not like that's not the best way to do it, but I'm just saying in a pinch. Then like there's a bunch of dirt and crap in it. Like after you boil it down, like something to sift that out. Like so you could pour it through that to get all the dirt out.
Maybe. I don't know.
Or you just not worry about it, probably?
Probably not. I'm probably drinking the dirt.
Yeah, because I mean, it just settles right at the bottom, probably.
Yeah, plus if you get enough snow and you have 6 inches of snow, the top 4 inches are going to be untouched.
It's true.
You know what you might need that's super lame is some sort of utensil to reach into the fire with, like some prongs and stuff.
Yeah.
Just because, like, I've seen in some of those survival shows, like, your boots get wet, right? And you take them off and you put your feet by the fire. They'll boil rocks and then take them out and put them in their shoes and put them in their socks to dry them out.
Yeah.
It's pretty sick, but you could figure that out. So I think we're up to like 8 items roughly.
Yeah. The one thing about, I guess you could use a stick, right, to like reach in to do something.
Yeah. Well, I've seen people split a stick into 2 and then put a rock, like wedge a rock deep into it and then like use it like tongs.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. Because like, you're right. Like you don't for 3 months, let's say you make it 2 months. If you're putting your blade in the heat off and on,
right, you're gonna retemper it.
You don't want to jack your blade up. You don't want to jack like
That's
your machete up to like
lose.
go in and like be flipping meat or something. Yeah.
So it depends what they'll let you have, but if we're on item 8, I wonder if they'll let you have like a fishing pole.
I didn't see that yet, but I mean maybe. Like I said, dude, it's wild. Because I mean it's like everything that like all the scenarios that we like joke about or be like, dude, what about this? You know, like survival stuff. That's what it is. You know
what? You know, it might be a waste, but also might be a game changer. Is one of those like tent material sleep.
Oh, they do have sleeping bags.
Well, a sleeping bag would be a must,
that counts.
But
yeah.
Friggin' what is that called, Nate? A hammock.
Ooh, yeah.
Because like night number 1, if you can put that up a little ways,
yeah,
you still might get screwed with by animals.
Put something across so it just like covers you from water or whatever. Yeah. And then you can sleep off the ground.
And ultimately, like if you like, this sounds like a waste, but if you can find a way to get good sleep, that's going to be one less thing you got to worry about.
Yeah, for sure.
If you're waking up well rested.
Yeah. So I forgot about the sleeping bag. That's another item.
That's a must. That is a must.
They're like 7 or 8 right there.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Like,
are they getting like field tips with those bows, you think? Or like they have to, right?
I didn't see. I just it was just in the trailer.
I'll tell you.
So like I haven't seen anybody like in the show use it, but I just saw him like shooting at something.
The real bummer of it is they're not going to replace those arrows.
He might have, you know what? He might have made it.
Oh, yeah.
And that wasn't even something he took.
That's probably a better prospect.
He might have made it and he didn't even take it.
Making a tip for it though, dude. I wonder if you could shoot a sharpened stick hard enough to kill
anything.
Yeah, I mean you could kill a squirrel. Yeah, but are you shooting at a raccoon? Aren't those like the last thing you want to eat?
No, I know, but I'm saying like shooting a squirrel with a bow.
Yeah,
that is.
I mean, I could do it.
I mean, let's not get carried away, dude.
I'm Legolas, baby.
Dude, that is
Hawkeye.
Dude, that would be so hard. I mean, it's doable.
Yeah.
But you got to have a dumb fat little squirrel. You know what I mean? He's got to be like
I wonder how much time from the time you sign up for the show to the time you go. I wonder how much time there is.
Yeah.
Because I would dive deep into like how to make traps and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine being able to set a trap, a live trap where you don't kill them,
right?
Catch 2 rabbits.
Oh, it's insane.
You catch 2 rabbits, you make a pin for
2 rabbits in the same trap?
Well, I'm just saying you catch a male and a female.
Maybe they were like riding piggyback.
Yeah, they were buddies out for a jaunt.
Okay.
Maybe I set multiple traps. I wasn't saying they were the same trap.
I'm just kidding. I know you weren't.
But like, you have infinite food then.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to take a minute for them to reproduce and whatnot.
Yeah. One guy was like...
Maybe that's not the move, though. You got to survive today, not survive next month.
I can't remember if it was the same guy or not. I really can't. I think it was, to be honest with you. But there was the one guy that left the second day, I think, was like... he was like, 90 days is my goal.
And you made it 2.
I think so. That could be 2 different guys, but I think so. I think the guy was like, I'm going to make it 90 days. He's like, because if I can make it 90 days... He's like, I don't think anybody's going to be able to make it that long. That's a long time, dude.
How many times, like, no questions asked, how many times do you have to eat to survive 90 days?
Okay, so let's say how many? So nine times 7 is okay. So wait,
63.
Okay. So let's say. Do you think you need to eat 4 times a week?
No, not to survive.
Okay, but I'm talking like not doing great, losing a lot of weight,
I think once
but
a
like
week.
doing okay. Really?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I think I gotta go twice at least. I don't think I can make it on one.
You're going to lose, well, me and you could,
Yeah, for a while,
for 90 days.
dude, we'd lose 30 pounds that first month.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For
Yeah,
sure.
no, I agree with you. I'm just saying, like, I would have to
we'd
be
feel
like
awful.
Yeah,
I don't know.
maybe we get used to it.
Maybe
because after like a
you'd
month.
be working from sun up to sundown.
Yeah.
That doesn't mitigate hunger.
Do you
I'm
think you would
saying,
just go like full underground house, like where it's like?
really depends on
I mean,
terrain.
if you have that kind of time,
It really depends on terrain.
if you have that kind of time, have you seen how guys do that? Like it's like half in ground.
Yeah.
And it's like they build a little log cabin that's like half in ground and like
Yeah. But again, it depends on terrain for me, because if you're next to like a rock wall and there's a weird little like cove
yeah,
where I can just use the rock wall as 2 of the walls of my house,
right.
and just build like a wooden front to it,
Mhm.
I'm going path of least resistance mixed with what's the best cover.
Dude, you know what?
Because what if you come upon a cave, like just like a 8-foot deep cave? Like that's not probably a cave, but or a rock that you can dig out from underneath, and you just have a place for your bed.
Yeah.
Because I don't know that you need, 3 bed 2 bath. You know what I mean?
See, I'm going. I see. Yeah, you're right. I think it would be sick though, because if you were like, dude, I can put up a 6x6 structure
Yeah.
in one day,
Right.
and then you get something where you're like, okay, like there is bears, but like they're not just going to be able to just rip through a tent.
right.
It's like you've got some like you can get some logs
Right.
where it's like decent. You know what I mean?
Sure.
That would be sick.
Yeah, I think my plan would be when they come to me and tell me that I won, I tell them to come back in a month.
Yeah, dude.
Victory lap.
I don't know, man. Like,
How crazy would that be if they came back and it took them a month to find us because we were so like camouflaged and set up in there.
it also changed us where when they get on the island, they get on the island and then there's like traps set for people.
Yeah. And they
You know what I'm saying? Where like one guy's walking through and then it hooks his leg and pulls him upside down.
Yeah.
And then like just somebody gets hit with an arrow through the throat.
Yeah, they finally find us, and we've set up a civilization. We've taken wives that we found. Like, where do these women come from?
You're taking wives.
It's like
Yeah, they're
we have our own currency.
Yeah, and they're like, guys, you won the money, and we're like, it's just you're wearing like a bear. You're wearing like a bear hood. It just changed us completely. Like we lost our humanity a little bit
Yeah.
out there, but we made
They're
it.
like, Zach, what's wrong? And I was like, my name is Finu.
My name is. We got like our own dialect of like clicks and pops. They're like, why'd you guys? It's only been 4 months.
You've been here for 7 days. What are you doing?
That's so funny.
I'm still like, I'm having like a little anxiety picking the last 2 items. This whole time I've just been running that.
Yeah, it's
in
not
the background.
It's not easy, dude.
It's probably not the dumbest thing to double up on some stuff when you get to 8, because if you're out there long enough, every one of those things are going to break.
Oh, you know what we need?
What's that?
We totally need to take something to sharpen stuff.
Easy money right there.
That we need some sort of a sharpening stone or something,
Whetstone.
Yeah, they like some sort of tool like that that's got different
Yeah.
that you can sharpen stuff. Maybe.
Yeah.
You definitely need that. Yeah, definitely.
Definitely need a claymore.
Yeah, maybe the last 3 should be claymores that you can put around your campsite.
Reusable.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That'd be sick.
Maybe a turret. like a motion sensor turret.
Howitzer.
Just at night you're trying to sleep and then just a possum
Yeah.
just starts mowing down stuff in the
Man. You
Yeah.
know what? Like, maybe it's dumb, but I might go if we had like one extra. I might go saw, or full blown axe.
Yeah, you know what? I saw saws. Some guys had band saws, not band saws, bow saws.
I might
That's
go bow
one of the
saw.
items. That's one of them. Yeah.
You're going to use that every day in the beginning.
You need that.
I mean, you're going to hack down a tree for sure with that.
That's 10
that
there,
hatchet,
right?
but you're going to want
Sleeping bag, sharpener, and saw puts us at 10.
So our list was sleeping bag, sharpener, saw, hatchet, knife, paracord, tarp, pot for water, bow. I said machete earlier, but I don't know if that made our list or not.
It did. Yeah, I was counting.
Machete.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's 10.
Yeah, we're at least at 10. And I don't feel great about that list.
I don't feel great. No. But you know.
It'd be cooler if we could go together.
Oh, for
Because
sure.
if you can hunt while I build, or we both build, and
They should
get
do
it done
teams
faster.
of 2.
Oh, dude, teams.
Because you know how much
and not
easier it would
go
be to build the
crazy.
structure?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it'd be like, we can, like, etch it out like Lincoln log style.
Yeah.
And then you can be, like, holding apart,
Dude, I think the way to go, it may take more effort. I think the way to go is build as much of it out of rock as you can. If there's a ton
That'd
of
be
rocks
sick.
or river rocks or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
And then you could try to do that, like, that fake crap that you see online where those guys build structures for a living.
Yeah.
You could try to put some, like, clay in between them. But in terms of insulation and stuff, it's going to be like the wind will get blocked by that.
Yeah. All right. We're back on.
Man, I think we'd do well at that.
I think we would.
I mean,
I
I'm
think
not
we
saying
would
we'd
too.
win it.
Yeah. I'm not saying we do great, but.
I'm not Mr. Outdoors by any means.
No. I'm not either. I'm really not.
But I think we could make a plan and stick to it.
Yeah, and I think the other thing that it seems like, there's 2 guys right off the bat that I told Lacey, and this is not like, I'm not throwing shade here, it just is what it is. Like, kind of dead eyes, autistic.
Right.
And I was like, they're like howling at the wolves when they're howling.
Oh.
And they're like, like talking to themselves the entire time, but like having full-blown conversations talking to themselves.
That makes sense, because how are you, like, getting 10 people to agree to this?
I'm like, those guys are going to do well. I don't care. Like, and one of the guys was like, I found mussels on the beach, so I got dinner tonight. He made fire. He was the only one.
Wow.
And like, there were wolves around his tent, and he just was like, I got a fire going. He's like, and I got a hatchet. He's like, and he was like, if they come in the tent, I'll just try to, I'll stab it as many times as I can. And he slept like a baby.
That's
And
hilarious.
I was like, those guys, like, whenever you see the guy, and they just, and like, I even before that happened, when I saw him, you would have done the same thing. You saw his eyes, you'd have been like, he's gonna do pretty well.
Yeah. He's seen some things.
Yeah, and he just looks dead in the eyes, and like, he got like,
war.
he looked kind of crazy, like
Yeah.
that crazy look,
Yeah.
where it's like his eyes are like real big all the time, and then like this, and like the way that they talk and they do things, they seem autistic, and so it's like they're gonna do. It's hard to beat that guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He's the guy that will make a civilization.
Yeah, it's hard
He'll
to
have
beat
a
that
wolf
guy.
pup pretty soon.
Yeah. It was
I wonder if that would be the move. If you could get one wolf to, like,
be like you like take a puppy.
yeah. I wonder if that would work
That'd be interesting.
to deter other animals and stuff.
I wonder if they'd smell them though. You just get a lot of activity you don't want.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say? What were you gonna talk about? Sorry, that was.
Nothing.
It's very interesting. You can start watching it too, and
Yeah,
then we
I
can
will.
talk about it each
I
week
will.
because
I'll get
I'm
way
only-
ahead of you.
No, don't. I'm only one episode in.
I know, but you don't have I'll shirk all my responsibilities to do this, and you have to, like,
I'll start trying to watch it more.
keep up your lifestyle. Like, you got, like, take care of your kids, like, all that crap.
Yeah.
No, I was just gonna say I've been, like, sick on and off for, like, the last 3 weeks.
Right.
It's never happens to me.
Right.
None of it's been bad, but then, like, I'll get short
It's
on
just
sleep.
been holding on.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah.
To the point where I think it could be allergies. Like, there might be mold or something crazy going on, which has never happened to me before.
Right.
But I'm like, what could this be? But
Yeah.
anyway, so I don't know if you're like this, but it's, like, not bad, but then when I have, like, something else co-occurring, it gets worse. So, like, the last 3 days I had, like, besides last night, I got a ton of sleep, but the last 3 days I had, like, 3 hours of sleep.
Yeah.
And so yesterday I just felt like crap. And you know me, when I'm short on sleep and I don't feel good, what do? Think back to when we first started this gym.
Usually
I'm
it's
low on sleep. What do I do? Besides lash out at you.
okay. Usually I felt like just something egregious would happen food wise.
Okay, so that brings me to my next question.
Okay, usually it goes off.
How many donuts? There's too many donuts to eat in a day.
So I'm gonna say for you, if you bought a dozen, and you ate all that dozen,
Okay,
and then you got more after that,
that's too much.
that's too much.
No, I'm in there. Then we're good.
Okay, yeah. That
Cut it off at an even 8.
okay. It's getting there, but it's not.
And can I tell you the true growth for me on this?
What?
Those 2 sittings.
Okay,
That was like 6 a.m. and like
that's progress.
6 p.m.
That's progress.
Yeah, I think so.
Because the last, like the main scenario that comes into my mind was when you ate one of those like Halloween bag sizes of like assortment of like little mini chocolates.
Yeah, I did kind of go off the rails that day.
It was the most like there was an entire roll of foil, like a worth of foil
Right.
wrappings on the table.
Like we could have put it together and covered a pot roast.
Yeah, like if we would have taped it together, we could have covered like a 9x13 pan.
Yeah.
And it was like just a stack of the wrappers, and you were like you were like completely
I was
asleep.
in a real rough place.
No, I mean, dude, you got like
I don't know
1.5 hours of sleep maybe, and then
For a
came
month.
here.
I don't know what that is in me that's like I'm low on sleep. My body goes calories.
No, I get it, dude. When you're sleepy, it's like, and you're not like, and you're lacking sleep, you just make bad food choices. Like I do the same thing.
Well, and I think, like Dr. Mike posted something about recovery and all the things that lead to recovery, and one of them is calories.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I wonder if there is something in you that's like you're not recovering from sleep.
Right, give us
from lack
something.
of sleep, so we have to.
Yeah, it could be for sure.
I don't know.
Yeah, it could
Or
be.
that could just be why I'm chronically overweight. I don't know. We don't know.
We don't know. Science is still figuring it out.
Science is new.
Science is
you know?
figuring it out.
But I will say, I don't know if this is better or worse. I got the 1% Fairlife.
Wow.
The like
Yeah, health.
half gallon.
Health.
It's gone.
Oh wow.
Got a
Chocolate or it was regular?
I went 1% regular
Okay.
because I normally go full fat.
Right.
But I was like, well,
I gotta
donuts.
offset the donuts.
I'll set it down. No, but it was I think 13 grams of protein per serving, 6 servings.
There's a lot of protein in there.
Yeah, it was like what is that? 36. It's like 96 grams of protein
Wow.
and probably like 200 carbs, roughly.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
How many carbs
that's-
in a donut you think? 30.
20-30. Depends on the donut, but 20-30.
So probably like 250 grams of carbs.
That's recovery.
That's recovery, baby. I feel like $1 million today.
I mean, also you like recover, like the milk, hydration,
Hydration, vitamins,
carbs, protein,
protein,
fat,
1%.
the donuts.
Oh, I thought we were talking about. No, there's no fat in donuts.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, right. Comparatively, maybe not as much. Maybe like 5 grams a donut.
Nah, dude.
You don't think so? Not that much?
No way.
Whatever, dude.
Half a gram
Whatever.
max.
Whatever. Close this thing out. Okay?
Real quick, though,
Yeah.
before I leave.
Okay.
If we're not talking about those glazed with like a bunch of air in between them,
Right.
How many donuts do you think you could put down before you're like, you need to take a hibernation?
So we're talking like the
assortment.
thicker like cake donuts.
Right. An assortment so you're not getting palate fatigue. Maybe a couple Long Johns in there, maybe a couple like old fashions.
I feel like if they're that style and they're not glazed,
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm getting a full dozen.
Full dozen of those would be tough.
Because like I'm trying to think like realistically. I'm like I don't know if I'm getting I think I would be real uncomfortable by 8 to 10.
Because those ones are probably the like,
Where they're heavy. Like when you pick it
Yeah.
up, they have like some weight to them.
they're probably like 200-300 calories a pop there.
Yeah, 8 to 10. I'm gonna start feeling like, you
Yeah.
know,
But those glazed ones, like the Krispy Kremes, it's kind of like
it's.
my jaw would get tired before I'd get full.
I mean, like I said, like
It's like cotton candy.
I was putting on a dozen when I was like 12.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if I haven't eaten,
Well, these are all different parameters now. I mean, if you haven't eaten, if this is the end of your like 90 days alone on an island or whatever we were just talking about,
yeah,
yeah, I mean, no number shocks me.
I don't know.
Actually, I take that
I don't
back.
know. I might eat 5 and then be sick.
Yeah.
Because like I had like a full cleanse.
You know what? You know what bothers me about that thing?
What?
About you doing that?
What?
I can see how this would play out. You'd come back and you'd be $500,000, but you'd never wear shoes again. And then you would like look down on me and you'd be like, I'm just one with the earth. It would change you where you'd be like,
I don't think so, dude. I don't.
Humans are ruining this place.
I don't think so.
I need to get back to my people.
I think I would be like. I guarantee I might eat differently.
You'd never wear deodorant again. That's number one.
None of that's true.
Barefoot.
None of that's true.
You'd only eat wild game.
Yeah.
You'd try like a chicken nugget from McDonald's,
and it'd be like,
just one
tastes like plastic,
and one tear would fall from your eye.
Yeah, and it'd be like that poor chicken.
Yeah, exactly.
No, dude, no.
You'd never waste food again. You'd dig through the trash even more than you already do.
No, and I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would I come back and like I only wear clothes I made or something.
Yeah.
That would be so weird.
Only wear hemp clothes.
That would be so weird.
Hey man, this has been fun.
Yes, it has.
I have to go see a man about a horse, so
Okay.
I'll let you go. But like, comment, subscribe. Comments really help us. They apparently help the algorithm.
Apparently.
Sharing would be cool. Even if you share it.
Sharing is caring.
Sharing's caring. Share it with me. Share it with Nate. Share it with whoever.
Just send it to yourself.
Yeah, send it to your boss. You know, I don't know. Don't do that. That's probably not a good
Get you
career choice.
fired. Yeah.
Help us out, man. Help us out. Help us help you. Help us help you. Love you.
Bye.